I'm going to sing a song, and I'm from Paima, Karnataka. Sham Radhe Sham Radhe 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 Sham Sham Radhe Sham Radhe 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 Sham तुम प्रेम हो तुम प्रीत हो मेरी सांसों का तुम गीत हो तुम प्रेम हो तुम प्रीत हो मनमीत हो कानमीत हो तुम प्रेम हो तुम प्रीत हो मनमीत हो काना मेरी मनमीत हो मैं जहाँ तुम हो वहाँ तुम बिन नहीं है कुछ यहाँ मुझ में धड़कती हो तुम्हें मुझ में धड़कती हो तुम्हें तुम दूर मुझसे हो कहाँ क्या हो रहा क्यों हो रहा ना जानू मैं खाना मुझे क्या हो रहा क्या हो रहा क्यों हो रहा ना जानू मैं खाना मुझे क्या हो रहा तुम प्रेम हो तुम प्रीत हो मनमीत हो काना मेरी मनमीत हो तुम ही हृदय में प्राण में निस दिन ध्यान तुम ही हृदय में प्राण में निस दिन तुम ही है ध्यान में हर रोम है तुम हो बसे हर रोम में तुम हो बसे तुम श्वास की आवाज हो क्या हो रहा क्यों हो रहा नैनों में खाना मुझे क्या हो रहा तुम प्रेमित हो मनमीत हो काना मेरी मनमीत हो कुछ भी कहीं पर बाए ना क्षण भर को भी चैन आए ना कुछ भी कहीं पर बाए ना क्षण भर को भी चैन आए ना सब कुछ है किंतु कुछ नहीं सब कुछ है किंतु कुछ नहीं संसार मन को लुभाए ना क्या हो रहा क्यों हो रहा ना जानू मैं काना मुझे क्या हो रहा तुम प्रेम हो तुम प्रीत हो मनमीत हो काना मेरी मनमीत हो तुम पास जब रहते है तब सब कुछ मुझे अपना लगे तुम पास जब रहते हो तब सब कुछ मुझे अपना लगे तुमसे बिछड़ते ही ये जग तुमसे बिछड़ते ही ये जग टूटा हुआ सपना लगे क्या हो रहा क्यों हो रहा ना जानू मैं काना मुझे क्या हो रहा तुम प्रेम हो तुम प्रीत हो मनमीत हो काना मेरी मीत हो श्याम राधे श्याम राधे 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 श्याम राधे 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 श्याम. Thank you everyone for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Nischita. Indeed, a beautiful song. Thanks for coming to us and singing for us this morning and getting our day started in a wonderful way. Indeed, the song is right. So the divine is nowhere else; it is within us. Right? That's what it is talking about. It is in your breath. It's in your body. It's within us. Thank you, Nischita, for the wonderful song. Let us get started with our meditation for today. I am going to be leading our meditation. Please get comfortable. For those who have their cameras on, thank you very much. That would give us a chance to observe. And please remove your glasses. Take your time. Take your time and remove your glasses. We all know the process already. Sit comfortably, either in Sukhasana or cross your feet if you're sitting on a chair. Clasp your hands and close your eyes. Take a moment to settle down. Take a moment to relax into your being. And slowly scan through your body. And see if there is any tension that you're feeling anywhere. If you feel any tension, consciously release it. Feel free to adjust your posture. And continue to scan through. Slowly settle down. And start bringing your attention to your breath. Observe the incoming breath, your inhalation. And follow through the exhalation. Just be with your natural, normal breath. And remember, meditation is non-doing. If any thoughts come into your mind, simply do not give any energy to it. Bring back your attention to your natural breath. As breath is our guide, as breath is our guru, and let's make an intention to internalize, to interiorize more, to go deeper within. The thoughts do come, they arise, they are within us. Just shift your attention to the breath. Observe your body breathing as you are neither your body nor the mind. last 10 minutes. Slowly come back. Please take your time. Take your time. Place your palms on your eyes for 5 to 10 seconds. Slowly come back. Take your own time. There is no rush. I'm seeing big smiles. Welcome back. Thank you for a wonderful meditation session. Jenny, I loved the music. Yesterday, we talked about Ho'oponopono. We talked about how our subconscious and the memories and impressions that we carry in the subconscious are defining who we are. And we learned a technique that would help erase and unburden us from some of the past memories. And we went through the process of 4 statements. It says, I am sorry, where we take complete responsibility of what's going on in our life. Because if we are seeing in our reality, it is because it's within us. And then we say, please forgive me for whatever the part that we have played in creating this reality. We say, I love you for the healing and for erasing and for removing these memories from us. And we ended with a gratitude. Thank you for the rejuvenation. And today we have Naman. We already met him earlier. For those who haven't met him before, Naman heads our international Paima wing, and he's a long-term meditator and he's an entrepreneur. He's coming to us with a brand new topic of habits for success. Naman?
Thank you so much, Regina. Thank you so much for an amazing meditation. I mean, I was literally knocked off for some time, but yeah, so my gratitude. Okay, guys. So good morning, everyone. Today our topic is quite interesting: habits for success. Right. A lot of times we contemplate what is success. Like, what are habits? What is a success? Where can I focus, to get those? If you Google it, I tried Googling it and I found so much content on how can you build your habit. But it was morely focused on prapanch, like it was mainly focused on jobs, habits for job, how to build a successful YouTube video, how to have better relationships. But no one talked about what's that one thing, right? Which takes care of all, like the ring of murder, one ring to rule them all. What's that one concept that takes care of learning a habit and unlearning a habit? Because we also face a lot of addiction sometimes about the habits we want to get rid of, but somehow we are unable to, right? So today we are going to focus on just one concept for 20 minutes, and we will make sure that we understand it from top to bottom. So with this, let me just share my screen. My computer is not allowing me. Yeah, can you please share the screen, Jenny? Cool. Okay. So, what's that foundation, right? What's that foundation for you that what are some of the principles or what are some of the concepts that we can learn today that will definitely help us in the longer term, right? So when I talk about mindfulness for success and we talk about what are the habits for success, right? We basically have one thing in common, okay? The one thing that we have is our thoughts, right? Because everything starts from a thought, right? And basically, whatever we say, whatever we do, whatever we act on, right? They all start from a thought. And we have triggers, right? For example, um, so I'll share one example with myself, right? My family is completely pure vegetarian, but when I went to college, I started eating non-veg, right? And there were some of the triggers, whenever we used to sit with my friends and everybody would come around or something and just say, hey, why don't you try it, experience it, yeah, go. And some pressure just subconsciously built up when myself I came forward and say, you know what, let me just try it, right? Because it was all from a trigger. The thought came that, okay, let me just go ahead and try it. And the trigger eventually acted on words actually acted on my action, and I actually acted on it, hence my destiny actually changed, right? So where does habit really come from, right? Our habits really come from our experiences. Our experiences leads to our thoughts, right? Our thoughts leads to words. The words lead to action, and the action decides our future, right? So to be honest, when people say that, success really is dependent on, let's say, 5 principles, 7 principles, 17 principles, 47 principles, right? Success is actually dependent on your experience. While growing up, right? What kind of experiences you have, right? While growing up, what kind of community you are in, what kind of words you use, right? Success is a lot dependent on that. But success is also dependent on where you choose to put your awareness. For example, we've seen a lot of examples where people who are really successful come from a very, very, very basic background. No money, no, the person has to work for everything. But still, people they are able to make it because they focus on their experience, they focus on their thoughts, and they focus on their words. Words eventually leads to action. Action actually creates your future, right? Can we go to the next slide? Cool. So now let's focus on what are thoughts, guys. Thoughts are primarily, we have, so basically, okay, so let me quote Bruce Lipton in this. We have roughly 60 to 70,000 thoughts in a day, okay? 60 to 70,000 thoughts in our head every day. There are 4 types of thoughts broadly, that Patrisa says that, that dominate us. The one is the disastrous thought, the negative thought, the positive thought, and a miraculous thought. The disastrous thought is something like, I just got an opportunity. I don't know how to drive. I'm not very confident in driving. And a friend of mine offered me his car and said, why don't you try it out? A disastrous thought would be, hey, you know what? If I drive there, I might kill somebody, I might hurt somebody. Let me just, no, I can't try it at all, restricting yourself from even having the thought of trying, right? A negative thought is, okay, let me just try and see what happens, But then I'm very, self-awareness is not very, appreciating, I'm not very confident in doing it. So I may or may not do it, depending on how I'm feeling at that situation. A positive thought is, okay, let me just try it, man. What will happen? I'll take 1 hour to go from point A to point B. Okay, let me try it out and I'll experience what happens. Miraculous thought is, okay, I believe in myself. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make sure I sit on this car, I drive it around, and I'll be here in 20 minutes. You're absolutely sure, right? So if you see broadly, those 60, 70,000 thoughts in our head are broadly, they lie in either of these categories, guys. And when I say all these thoughts, all these thoughts exist simultaneously. Okay, there is no there are very few cases where you only have positive and miraculous thought throughout the day, like very, very rare experience, or you have only disastrous and negative thoughts, right? But where we choose to put our awareness, are we focusing on the negative or the disastrous stuff, or are we focusing on the positive or miraculous stuff, right? So let me take an example. Okay, I am a foodie. Okay, I love food, and I go to places, I try food, and this thing got out of hand, right? I started eating like 6-7 times a day, just casually meeting somebody, grabbing a bite, and experience what the food is like. And when I realized that, okay, I'm gaining weight like anything, I'm becoming lazy, my mind is not happy. At some point I realized all these things, and I thought, what triggered all of this, right? And I thought that, hey, you know what? When I'm meeting a client, I'm subconsciously asking them to go to a restaurant with me, And what happens when you go to a restaurant? You'll order something, right? So when you order something, what happens? The thought came, the word happened, then the action happens. I eat. And that eating eventually led to weight gain. Right. Then I came back. I thought, yeah, this thought, the notion is negative for me right now. My body is already overweight. I'm not feeling very well. I'm still focusing my awareness on those negative thoughts. Then I became a little positive. I asked them, yeah, you know what, let me come down to your office, or, why don't you come down to my office and let's sit and talk. Then what happened? I ordered green tea for myself, coffee for the gentleman or lady. And the thoughts eventually started to change. Yeah, like I became very conscious about food, right? Then the positivity kicked in. I started walking, now the idea is I measure my body, I walk, and make sure I take care of my body, right? So these are the 4 types of thoughts, guys: the disastrous, negative, positive, miraculous, right? And any habit that we want to change, any any goal that we want to achieve, right? We make sure that we carry our thought in our head, which is positive and miraculous, and I'll make sure that we are aware of, right? Because everything in our head is linked to our subconscious. And when I talk about subconscious, what is subconscious? Guys, can you tell me what is subconscious mind? And how important is it? Any just a couple of text messages, fine. What do you think your subconscious brain does? Okay. So, yes, deep-rooted beliefs. Yes. They are your experiences. They are, Bruce Lipton says, for the first 7 years, you focus by learning. You learn by seeing something. When you are a young kid or toddler, first 7 years, you learn by seeing. Next, after 7 years, you learn by practice. Yes, Nilesh, habits that are cultivated from childhood. You focus on repetition, right? So subconscious brain is the key principle in the school which run things around. Let me give you an example. Okay. Jenny, can we go to the next slide, please? Cool. So we did that. How does energy impact thoughts? Right? Sorry, I just energy. So wherever you put your energy, those thoughts get cultivated, guys. It's exactly like water. Okay. What happens is when you put water in the ground. I'm sorry, I'm just digressing for a bit. When you put water in the ground, right? Your water doesn't see if it is a rose or a tree or a grass or a weed or nothing. It just grows whatever is there in the ground, right? Similarly, energy in our system does the same thing. It doesn't differentiate if your thought is negative, disastrous, positive, or uh, miraculous. Whatever is in there in your head, the energy will cultivate it. So when you are changing your habits, when you are changing your thought patterns, you have to make sure where are you putting your awareness. For example, when you are thinking of let's say studying for UPSC, for example, it takes a lot of immense dedication, and you need to devote a lot of time in the practice. What kind of thoughts are you cultivating in your head, right? For example, when I sit, right, do I have any distractions around? Am I writing my affirmations and typing so I continuously see them? Do I have a habit of, do I have a habit pe bhi aayenge, but do I have a habit which helps me in sitting, let's say, for 18 hours? And when we become aware of such thoughts, right, our body will automatically start seeing patterns. Our mind will automatically start seeing patterns where, we can find where is the loophole that we can fix, because our mind by default is a problem solving mind, right? If you are curious, right? So this is what energy does to thought, guys. When you are aware, in your head, what the challenge happens with negative people is, I think recently somebody shared an experiment that was done among humans where people were kept in a room and they were exposed to such words as non confident, happy, miraculous, and their vitals become improved, their vitals improved. And the other room, they were exposed to negative words like depression, all sorts of nonsense stuff. And you could see the change in their emotions and their energy, right? So the impact of energy is very, very important for us to being aware of where we want to be. Okay. Can you go to the next slide, please? Okay. So habits and subconscious, guys. So I was talking about. So subconscious brain is the principle inside your head. Okay. All the deep-rooted beliefs, all the deep-rooted experiences that we've had. Because Bruce Lipton says, after 7 years, you learn by repetition. Before 7 years, you learn by seeing things. Okay. So when I say your subconscious mind, let me give you an example. When you wake up, how many of you think, oh, okay, now I have to get out of my bed. I will put my left leg first. Then I will go to bathroom. I will pick up toothbrush. I will pick up toothpaste. I will put it in this manner. And then I will start, who all think, while they are brushing? Does any one of you think, or just go ahead and just, open it, go do that, this and finished, right? No one thinks. We just flow. Another example, when we are driving to, let's say, work or school or cycle or anything, how many of you think, oh, I have to put my keys here, then I have to rotate it clockwise? Abhi engine there, abhi itna gas, the vehicle in front of me is 6 meters away, so I should start pressing my brake. How many of you think like that? Or it just happens? You just see, sense, and then subconscious takes up, and then you are able to steer your way to your destination. So 95%, 90 to 95% of our day is controlled by our subconscious brain. Unless we are, exposed to something that is not ordinary, that is not usual for us, right? Then your conscious brain comes in and figures out, okay, where am I? What is going on? How can I solve this? Let's say trigonometry, right? If I ask you in the morning, like when you wake up, hey, sin squared theta plus cos squared theta, You'll be, hey, what? Your subconscious brain will kick in. But then this is the power of subconscious. It can be, again, this is also like a ground. It can be used either for a positive thing or a negative thing, right? Positive thing is a good habit, negative thing is an addiction, right? So when I say about subconscious, your subconscious brain, the training of that brain, the muscle power of that brain is to train that is the key behind any building any success or building any habit or unlearning any habit, right? Because this is the pattern that we keep following day in and day out. And since we learn by repetition, the more we repeat, the better we get at it. Hence, we do 21-day meditation, 40-day meditation, 60-day, 90-day, right? If you see the essence of Anapanasati is actually quite simple. You close your eyes, cross your hand, cross your legs, focus on your breath. How difficult is that, right? But to be able to do that 21 days in a row, where you actually test ki this, like first day it's simple, okay, it's out of excitement we do, but then eventually when your habit, when your body is not used to that habit, but you still have to push yourself and do, right? That's why going to a gym is quite quite a target, because most people, it's easy to buy a subscription of your this thing membership, right? But to be able to go ahead, because your body is not used to it, right? That's why if I am something that if I want to build a habit for a gym, I would target myself to do one push-up a day. Then that one push-up will, once my mind is accustomed to that one push-up, I'll go 5, I'll go 10, I'll go 50, 100. But most people, what they focus on is, oh, I have to go to the gym, I have to be in the gym, I have to be in the gym. But being in the gym does not serve your purpose. To be able to do that, one push-up takes a lot of energy and thought process for you because it's not in your subconscious, right? And for example, if I ask, so I love computers, I love so if you ask me to sit in front of a computer, it's very easy. Ask me to go out and have chat with somebody. The mind is not rooted, mind is not programmed for that, right? So it becomes a whole sort of a process for me. So coming back to the habits and subconscious, when you have a habit, the habit is just one thing that you repeat again and again, right? That repetition starts with the thought. The thought is in your subconscious, right? All we have to do is get aware of it, make sure that we practice the habit, or rather we practice the thoughts. We put our energy in the thoughts, which leads to our words. When you start talking about, hey, you know what, I'm going to start working out, others will come in and say, hey, when are you working out? You're gaining so much weight. So that growth actually helps you in thinking, okay, I need to work out. Then the words will turn to action. That one push-up that I do. And that one push-up will lead to 5 push-ups, will lead to 10 push-ups, because I then start to train my subconscious. And then it will become like toothbrush. I don't have to wake up and say, oh no, I have to go to the bathroom, 7 steps now. I have to climb stair to, nothing, no process. You just get into the zone and you do it. Right. So this is the power of our subconscious mind when we start training it. Right. So with this, let me just take care of the case study that we do with Paima. Okay. So any meditator that comes in, right, who is going through, so we do Jagrat Yuva, which is a 40-day event. Every day we get everybody on board for 40 days, 1 hour a day. We meditate for 20 minutes and we make sure that we change the pattern, right, behind your entire day. So for example, we'll pick up just one topic. Okay. What do you want to change? Somebody will say, oh, I'm very tensed. Oh, I don't know, mera din kahan chala jata hai. This problem, everybody says, oh, I don't know where all my time goes, But everybody has 21 days. We live through those 24 days. But everyone says, oh, you know what? I don't know, man. Just I don't know how time flies. It flies because we are not consciously aware of the time, right? Because the subconscious is actually taking up all the time, 90 to 95% of your day, right? 5% that consciousness where you come in and say, oh, I want to be fit, I want to be this, I want, you know, that is what is actually the change becomes. And once you get aware of your thoughts, right, it becomes very when it becomes very easy, right? So for 40 days, what we do is we start up with, let's say, just meditation. Just be aware. This is what we are doing with the mindfulness for success. We start off with just getting aware of your breath. When you become aware of your breath, what happens? Through the day, you start becoming aware. Not all at once. I'm not saying, what, you will go all at once. But there are instances in your brain when you start focusing on your breath, right? And as you go along, as you add more number of days, your muscle memory starts to build up. And once your muscle memory starts to build up, what happens is it becomes a process for you. It becomes a habit routine for you, right? And when you get into that routine, it only gets better and better. And you start, when you start meditating, you might be conscious for, let's say, 5 minutes in a day, eventually leading to 50 minutes to 500 minutes to, you are aware all the time. So this actually works because that's why we have 21 days and 40 days. Otherwise, I would have simply, we could have simply said, hey guys, you know what, just close your eyes, cross your hands, feet, focus on your breath. It's easy. It is easy, but to be able to continuously do it requires a process. And hence, that's how we build our habits. So with this, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate your patience. Thank you. Over to you, Shrudna.
Thank you, Naman. That's very simply put, but you hit the nail on it, right? We complicate it several times, but it is basically repeating it, and the thoughts become words, words become actions, and actions become destiny. Is it? Did I get it?
Yeah.
Yes. So all starts with thoughts and repeating until it becomes part of us and part of muscle memory, where we are not thinking about it and it just happens. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much for that session.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.
And Naman, shall we take question and answers now?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. We have a question from Vikal Gupta. And he's saying it's becoming tough to control thoughts day by day, to observe breath. Too much of the thoughts.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Vikal. So let me tell you that the idea that we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts in our head every day, there is no way we can stop those thoughts. Okay. Let me put it metaphorically. Thoughts is like a flowing river. Okay. It's like a movie, one frame after the other at an immense speed. Your thoughts, comes like that. If you go to a theater, you'll see somebody to your left or right, they're either giggling or crying, and you're just, out there thinking, hey, what's going on, man? Why are you crying? There are certain instances like this, right? It's because that you are unable to relate to the scene that is going on and, somebody. So let's say if I take you back to your memory lane, I'm sure, a birth of somebody or death of somebody will trigger some emotions, or, some successful memory that you have or some failure you have will trigger some memory inside, will trigger some emotion inside you, right? So thoughts are like that, right? When we say put your energy in your thoughts, what we mean is, if you see this river of thoughts flowing in front of you and you're sitting next to it and just observing the river, right? You will not get wet. Rather, you will not get entangled in those thoughts, right? You will not get covered in those thoughts. But if you put your hand in that river, or rather put your body in that river, you'll get wet because you're there in the thoughts, right? So it will trigger emotions, it will trigger, feelings, it will trigger a lot of different things, right? And that's why we said there are 4 types of thoughts. You put your hand in the river, which is positive and miraculous, and not in the river which is disastrous and negative, right? So the idea of meditation is not to get rid of thoughts. The idea of meditation is to make sure that, you know what, doesn't matter, 60,000 thoughts, 6 lakhs thoughts, 6 million thoughts, doesn't matter. You know, I'm going to be an observer and I will only observe this river flowing next to me. I will not put my hand in it, right? So yeah, I think that, I hope it answers your question.
Thank you, Naman. We have another question from Shivashankar. He's saying few more examples, differences between negative thoughts and destructive thoughts.
Sure. So negative thoughts. Okay, let me start off with destructive thought, right? Destructive thought will stop you straight away. You know, not only stop you straight away, you'll start questioning, hey, you know, I'm not good enough for this year. You know, why are you even thinking of it? For example, if let's say Shrujana asked me for a class today, right? And I was like, oh, Naman, you're not good enough, man. You know, why are you even taking the class? And I'll go, no, you know, I can't, I'm not well, I'm not this, and I will not come, right? Negative is, okay, let me just go. I'll still come, but you'll see for sure that, okay, Naman's confidence is not high, you know, he's not prepared, he's not, you know, that is negative. Positive is, you'll come in, you'll see me come in, take the class, but I will take it with a little sense of confidence, like, okay, guys, this is my experience, that's it. Miraculous is, I'll come in, I'll explain this thing to the best of my possibilities, no matter what I do, you know. I may not be a very good speaker, or I may not be a very, you know, my linguistics are not at the peak, but I'm going to deliver the best I can, you know. And you'll see that. So this is how you can basically say that disastrous will straight away say no with, you know, self-pity, self-sabotaging this thing. Negative is going ahead and at least trying it out, but samne wale ko lagega, no, you know what, something is missing, you know. Positive may you'll see some effort is being made and, you know, in delivering this. Miraculous is to the best of your abilities, you're able to do it. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. And Arup Das is asking, can we change our destiny?
Wow. There is a quote, you know, when somebody talks about changing your destiny, right? There's the movie called The Last Samurai, where the head of samurai clan asked the same question to Tom Cruise. And he says, a man does what he can until his destiny is revealed to him. So I think changing your destiny, yes, because I may be in the path where, you know, I may not have seen somebody doing business, right? So I'll tell a little about myself. I was raised in a background where my father was exactly like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, like a thing, you know, went with me. A friend's father was the one who actually taught me business. My father actually motivated me, you know, go to BITS Pilani. I eventually graduated from BITS Pilani, went to University of Chicago and, you know, finished my education. And this is all because of my father, because he wanted, you know, go to this college, do this, then go to this college, do your masters, and then you will be successful, and then you will do this and that. You know? And my friend's father, who's actually, you know, rich and successful, he says, you know, education is pointless until you can do something that you want to do, right? So with me in my head, this thing, sorry, but for me, the destiny was that I wanted to make sure that, you know, I focus on my business that I want to do, right? Hence, I chose, despite doing everything that I did, I still went ahead and say, you know what, all these degrees doesn't matter. Let me just roll up my sleeve and get to the work. So probably it's the choice. It's where you put your thoughts, where you put your energy, what you decide, and how serious you are when you're deciding it. I think that these are some of the factors that, you know, because eventually your destiny is dependent on what you do. You know, you may be a brilliant person, but there is like brilliant people are everywhere, right? But not everybody makes it. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Harshavardhan Agarwal is asking, how do we know if we are observing the thoughts or if we are one with the thoughts?
Wow. Observing a thought is okay. So when you're working, right? When you're seriously in the zone, our thoughts this is my personal experience. When I work, my thoughts don't stop, right? I have something deadline coming up, some family function coming up. The thought is there, I have to go this thing that, even though I'm working, right? In that case, I become the observer to those thoughts. I become an observer. When I say I become an observer, these thoughts exist, but this is my priority, right? So that's how I personally, become an observer when I'm meditating. I try to not get, usi rat mein, I don't try and get inside those thoughts. I focus on my breath, right? There I become an observer. When I'm flowing, right? When I'm just going by where the, wind takes me, there I try and become one with my thoughts. For example, if I'm, let's say I'm talking to you guys, and after this, something comes up impromptu saying, this thought came in, hey, let me just go and eat, let's say, my favorite breakfast. So I'll request my family, I'll go somewhere, I'll order it, become. So I think that's, I don't know how to choose the right words, to be honest, but through my experience, right? If I become an observer, then I'm observing my thoughts, just like a river in my head. I just go to my happy place. The river of thought is flowing. I just sit down, enjoy chirping of the birds. The river is flowing, guys. Why not? When I have to swim in that river, right? That's when I become one with my thoughts, because then I'm, going along the flow. So this is how I do it. The differentiation.
Sorry, I forgot to mention, if anyone wants to ask questions, please feel free to raise your hand as well. I'm reading from the chat, Naman. There is another question most relevant to our topic today. How can we create new habits?
Wow, nice. Okay, so the idea of creating a new habit is to focus on. So let's say I'll talk about creating. Spoke about going to the gym, right? If you just sit down and switch on this thing mind and say, okay, I'm going to go to the gym. I bought the subscription, right? But then 99%, or rather majority of us, don't end up actually using that subscription, right? So when I say, so if I have to build a habit of doing exercise, because going to the gym is irrelevant, doing exercise is what will get me closer to my goal, right? So if I want to build a habit for a healthy lifestyle, I would start with first the thoughts. Thought will come, Instead of buying the subscription, I would rather challenge myself. Let me do something in my home and see what I can do, right? Because that will cost me nothing. I can do it even right now. That one push-up, let's say, that one push-up I can do right now. I can get on the floor, whatever I'm doing, and leave it. I can just put one push-up and come, right? That one push-up, when I start doing it, the subconscious brain, because it learns through repetition, right? The more I do it, the better acceptance it is in my head, right? Somebody wrote here, your habits, first you make your habits, then the habits make you, right? Because when you're making that habit, you're training your brain. What is making a habit? Making a habit is actually training your subconscious brain to accept a new, let's say, program in your head, so that you don't have to go through your conscious brain and just like effortlessly, just like you brush, just like you travel to your favorite destination, right? You're able to do that effortlessly. That's a habit, right? So if I want to build a habit around physical fitness, I will challenge myself for a single push-up, and I will do it consistently until that single push-ups becomes effortless. Then I'll challenge, okay, let me just see and try if I can do 5. That one push-up I'll start, automatically 4 push-ups I'll have to push myself, right? Eventually I'll come to a point where these 5 push-ups become effortless. Are maza nahi aa raha, this challenge is not challenging enough. Let me try 10 push-ups, because training of your subconscious brain takes time, right? There is a 10,000 hour, the concept of 10,000 hours. You practice it for 10,000 hours, you master it. There is a 40 days. If you do it, you're able to, create that program, right? That's why we have these meditation classes, right? The repetition. So the moment I start doing 10 push-ups, it becomes effortless. I go to 50, right? So what I'm doing is I'm training my subconscious brain to accept this program. And from one thing, one thing will lead to another. The butterfly effect, ripple effect will kick in. Similarly, why we say when you meditate, your body improves. When you meditate, your vitals improve. You become more happy. It's a ripple effect, right? You focus on doing like you're focusing on your breath. That breath leads to focusing on your body. The focusing on your body leads to focusing on your actions, right? When you speak, you're mindful, right? And talk to any meditator who has been meditating for a long time. You'll see this thing is very common with everyone. That we started off with focusing on our breath, eventually on our words, on our body, on our actions, right? So with the process of training my subconscious, I'm able to build habit. So any habit, if I want to unlearn a habit as well, right? The similar principles will come in. There is a thought where I have to put energy on the reverse thought. Let's say a food eating habit I want to change. I will focus on eating healthy. Basic baby steps. I'll train my brain to eat healthy. Small, one meal a day, once a week, something whichever is wherever I'm comfortable, right? And then from there, I'll start working on it, building. And once it becomes effortless, I'll go to a bigger challenge. Once it becomes effortless, I'll go to a bigger challenge. And in that process, I'm able to unlearn my habit, right? So the same principle works, guys. Learning the habit and unlearning.
We have one more question from Rajesh. How to improve most focus on my studies?
Focusing on your studies. Wow. Okay. So I have a very weird experience in improving studies. So I was a 40% student until my 9th class. Then certain thing happened where my dad became angry. He threw my books away, threatened me to, drop me from school. And that was the trigger in my head where I actually started to nail down and, start taking studies seriously. But if you're already studious and you want to increase your focus, right? I think meditation, again, guys, meditation is the easiest way. The reason I'm saying this is because it's a hack to your brain, right? Because imagine you're not doing anything else, right? Abhi chashma utar diya, aankh band kar diya, 80% of stuff you can't do because you can't see. Your body is anyway, stationary. Your hands touch stuff, move things. So you cross your hand and lock them up. So 90% of your stuff is, the only thing that is remaining is walking. You cross your legs also, you can't even walk, right? So what happens? And when you see the bigger picture, right? You have been trained, or rather all of us has been trained to seek something outside, if somebody has to induce fear in us, mama bachpan mein bolte tha, baba will come, bhoot will come, something will happen, growing up, if you want good grades, why don't I go to that Saraswati temple and do puja so my grades can improve? All these things have been ingrained, all these advertisements, right? Everything has been ingrained to seek something outside, right? Colgate mein namak nahi hai. There are so many things, right? But when you do meditation, it's opposite. No one will ask you to go outside. People will say, go inside, focus on your breath, Then what happens? It's not a similar pattern that you are used to, right? Then what happens? People sit and, okay, let me just focus on your breath. But then kya hota hai? Dimag, your brain is anyways looking to go outside. It will start, getting mingling with the thoughts. It start going, I want to go to Paris. Let me just think of going to Paris, something like that. Well, then what happens? Okay, over the consistent period of time, your body, your monkey mind becomes subtle and, it settles down and it starts focusing on it. And that hack you can use to grow anything in your life. When you focus on your breath, right, you're focusing on your breath. When you're study, you're focusing on your study. Because your monkey mind is calm, right? Just because you are able to do meditation for, let's say, 1 hour, Your monkey mind is calm. Your mind is not jumping from one tree to another. It's settled. It's basically it's calmed down. It's focused. And with overtime, obviously, with overtime, there is no magical. Like, I can't say you're not taking this for 5 days and you're going to go from zero focus to Einstein. You can't. It's a process that needs working on. It's like building a body. You can't say I'm building. So you can't say, I've never heard anybody say, oh, you know what? I built my body on 16th July 2019 at 8 p.m. You know, you can't say, oh, I fell in love on 15th February 2016 at 4:45 exactly. You can't say that. It's a process, right? Going to a gym is a process. Falling in love is a process. Changing your subconscious brain is a process. So yeah, it's a process. Okay. And when you meditate, it becomes easy.
We have Varun raising his hand. Varun, can you please unmute yourself?
Yeah, thanks. Hey, Naman. Hey, great session. Very important session, I can say. My question is how you unlearn something.
Got it. Yeah, the art of unlearning is what? Art of unlearning is to replace it with something you want to learn. Right. For example, people say no thought, no thought, no thought. A thought of having no thought is also a thought. When I sit and close my eyes, oh, I will not have any thought. I will not have any thought. You know, that thought itself is a thought, right? So when you are thinking of unlearning, when you are thinking of unlearning something, a habit, right, you have to make sure that you find the trigger of what is. So when I said for my food habits, when I said the trigger was I was inviting by subconsciously, I was inviting them to my favorite restaurant. So what will happen? I will not drink water there, right? And my favorite waiter comes along and says, hey, sir, what do you want? I was like, "Yeah, le aajo tera man." You know? So all that trigger will, start. So when I wanted to unlearn this habit, I first saw the trigger of it. The trigger is I'm taking everyone to the restaurants. Then the trigger from thought, the words came in, hey, why don't you come to my office and we'll talk? You know, those thoughts became actions actually, changed. Reduced my eating quantity. So when you have to unlearn a habit, you have to make sure you have to see the triggers in your life. Again, when you meditate, you're able to focus. You are able to see the loopholes, right? And when you are aware in the situation, right? If you are mindful in the situation where the trigger is happening, it automatically will aware you. It automatically like ping you in a say that, guys, you know what? You're going in the same pattern. And then it's on your will, it's on your awareness, how soon you want to change it, right? And then you're able to, like, it's the same principle as building a habit. The same principle goes from our life.
Yeah, got it. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Next question is from Shivakumar. Why is that much difficult in doing meditation, cross legs, only concentrate on breath? Why? Is there any other simple method? I'm sort out with this.
But to be honest, we are lazy people, right? Buddha did the hard work for us 2,500 years ago. So, why mess with the process if it works? Sorry.
Why fix something if it didn't break?
No, but on a serious note, right, it's very easy for us to say focus on, let's say, Ram, focus on this chanting, focus on this mantra, or focus on something external. But if you see through the bigger picture, right, your breath is literally the only common thing in the world which is common to everyone, right? Doesn't matter if you're rich, poor, if I'm Sunil, if I'm Naman, if I'm, it doesn't matter who I am, right? I have a breath. And it doesn't matter where I am, rich, poor, alien, something. The breath is common with everyone. And the moment it goes, we realize the ultimate truth, the death, right? And it's one of the most purest form here. I have never heard anyone say, "Teri breath ko ye ho jaye," No one abuses breath. It's so subtle and subconscious. It's like literally, it's one magic that I see that nature has done with us. We could have been made like a million times in the field of quantum world. Any possibility is there, but the breath is so subtle, so pure that when you sit and focus on it, the consequences are also same. Like, I've met so many meditators in my life. Everyone has a similar experience. Everyone has a similar experience with the breath. So yeah, so I didn't think I've experimented. I did experimented with a lot of chanting, a lot of different things, but for me, the truth was focusing on breath. So yeah.
Today we have Varun with us who would like to share his experience. Varun is a software engineer, and he's been practicing meditation for the last few years. Varun? Welcome.
Thanks, Rajana. Morning, everyone. Before starting, I want to give my heartfelt gratitude to Patricia, who gave this wonderful medium tool, whatever we can say, to us, and Premnath sir, who is my personal, inspiration to start this meditation, and my family, who are all the meditators. When I say my family, it's like 5 families, and we almost everyone in the family we meditate. So I'm proud for that, and there's been a great influence of my family on me. So so my name is Varun. I'm 24 years old, and I'm from Andhra Pradesh, India. And I've been practicing meditation for about 8 years for now. And when I say 8 years, it's like, continue, discontinue. But I started 8 years ago. Okay. So I want to, divide my experience into 3 parts. So my life before meditation, I was, to give introduction about me, I'm the most shyest person. Like, the shy level in me is like, I can't talk to my own family members, my aunts, my cousins. I have my cousin sister. When we used to meet, it used to take one day, total one day. I initiated, a speak, a talk. I was that shy, and and I have many complexities, negative thoughts, uh, like I'm a short person, so a natural thing, I was not that confident. I used to think, why me? Why I'm short? Um, that was very disturbing. Like, it doesn't allow me to go anywhere, to do anything. If I want to go to in sports, I just the first thought that comes into mind, you're short. So that was a thought process before starting meditation. And it was a year 2014 where I I was about to join the college, and probably that was the time I had to move to Bangalore, which is a big city, and uh, the culture there is a way more out of my league. You know, so I had zero self belief. Basically, with hundreds of complexities, it was becoming tough for me. So I started meditation upon from taking guidance from Premnath, my family members, and within 3 months, I can say, there are lots of changes. You know, uh, After 3 months, or after partly I start college, and we had some reunion wherein we all family members got together, and I can't believe myself. I was going to each and every person and asking how are they. So it's all in 3 months. I was like, wow, there is something in this, you know, and I keep on practicing. So it was going on like, as a student, you sometimes, if you follow and you don't follow and skip to So yeah, in this time, like I said, I have many complexities that all gone, like completely gone. Like I no more care what people think. I can initiate talks. I can, you know, um, I no more think about my height, and I'll, I, I start to think positively, but not completely, but yeah, this is start. And cut to after college, I started working, and first 2 years was fine, and sorry, 1.5 year was fine, and then this Corona happened, and then there was a lots of work pressure. Oh man, that was a darkest period. More than Corona, I was fearing of my job, a pressure from my job. So and the biggest thing, I was there in Mumbai, where the hotspot of Corona. So that was a really tough time. Um, so this is the second part wherein I came home after in May or something in 2020, wherein that's when Zoom classes started in, like people started to meditating in Zoom. Uh, so that's when the second part wherein I started learning about different concepts like conscious mind, subconscious mind, law of attraction and habits and all this. So the meditation I did, I can say like past 6 years helped me, but the meditation I did in these 2 years was a different level. You meditate and then you know these concepts uh, that you have different level of confidence. So I was like after hearing these concepts, I was able to think there was many changes again. Like I was able to think more positively, and I was able to understand how the brain works. I'm still learning. I don't say I mastered it, but yeah, I'm still learning. So that's my experience. So one thing I wanted to say is like we need to experiment. Like Patricia says or Pyramid says, we need to experiment. Hearing concept is not enough. So yeah, and we need to experiment and see it works for us, or teachers, or you learn from experiences, right? You learn from teaching. So yeah, so I would like to ask everyone to experiment, or teach the meditation to another, so that you will come to know. Yeah, so that's it. That was my experience I wanted to share. Yeah, thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you, Varun, for sharing your story of transformation. I'm very pleased, and thank you for coming forward and sharing. I saw, Nilesh, I saw you raised your hand. Would you like to?
Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, thanks for the session. Actually, it was very good. From the day one, I'm getting new informations. So I'd like to share my experience for creating a new habit. It might help others. So what I do is I have taken this from a book called The Power of Habit. So whenever you want to create a new habit, just you can attach it to your daily what you are doing, like brushing or bathing. What you can do is like suppose if you want to create a new journal habit. So before brushing you do daily, right? So before going to do your brushing, you can write your journal. So like if you do this continuously, if you say the next day or on the 8th day, if you're going to do your brush, then it will automatically trigger that you need to write your journal. So this is the effective way I have created few habits actually. So I just wanted to share this. And also for creating a new habit I have done recently is whenever I'm starting my day with my laptop, I just before starting my laptop, I just meditate for 5 days, 5 minutes. So it is a new habit which I have created recently. So whenever I'm turning on my laptop, and my mind triggers that I need to meditate for 5 minutes. So yeah, I just wanted to share it to help for anyone.
Thank you for that tip, Nilesh. It just it makes sense. We are setting reminders. We are bringing a new habit into something that we are already doing, so we remember to get to it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
We are 9 minutes over, and there are a couple of questions I see that are answered in the chat. If there is anything left, we'll definitely pick it up in the Telegram group and we will answer it there. Thank you all for joining today. This has been a fantastic session. Thank you, Nishita from Paima, Karnataka, for a lovely song and starting us off. And Naman, thank you for helping us how to create new habits. And
thank you.
Grateful for the platform. Really happy about everyone's encouragement. Varun, we loved your story. All right. Thank you. We'll see you all tomorrow. Have a fantastic day.